Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, come on, a little louder. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. You woke me up. You know, for a number of years I've been talking about being positive and staying positive. And I wrote my very first book in 1999. Not 1899. 1999, which is called Positive Affirmations to Live By. And I tried to bring up 2 points in that book. Number one, to stay positive, and number two, to remain positive. And I want to tell you that's been a feat in itself. Now, coming into this new year, or actually 2024, going into 2025, people have asked me about taking that book and bringing it back out, because everybody is sort of down. All you have to do is look around, turn on the TV, and look at the headlines, what's going on, totally around the world. And it's kind of depressing. It really is. That's why I enjoy Night Court in the evening. Because it takes us away from the everyday downtrodden of things. The best thing to do is to keep on thinking positive and to feel good about yourself. Now, I know that seems easy, but it's hard. But once you start it, you'll see a whole new you emerging. It's very important. I do visitations to the hospitals. I don't care what religious persuasion they're in. If they ask me to come in, I go in. And the first thing I do is I go over to the nurse and ask them, or her, or him, about the ones I'm going to see, how long they stay there, what the condition is, and so forth and so on. Well, one day I walked in and there was a minister who belonged to the association in Melbourne that I belonged to at the time, and he was really out of it. And I went in there and I said, look, I said, instead of goofing off, you should be out there helping me do this work here. And he started laughing. And I spent a lot of time with him, and he since that time he passed on. But he was really in dire straits, but he was glad to have some fun for that few minutes. I walked into another room. There was a lady who was well established in one of the large corporations down here in Melbourne. And I walked in the room and she said, what are you doing here? I said, you know, I got a phone call from the hospital. They said, you're raising Cain up here. And she looked at me, she said, with a smile. She says, you get out of here. I said, see ya. But it was nice to feel good to help these people out, to smile, to be a little bit happy about themselves. As I walked out of the hospital, I said, it's nice to be able to walk out. Okay? So we have a big job to do. I really believe in getting out more and helping people to feel more positive about themselves. Because like I said, everything is really down right now. And the subconscious mind has no sense of humor. And as some of you know, I have a sense of humor. But the subconscious mind, once it radiates all that information into you, it stays there. It doesn't go anywhere. And people don't realize this, but even when you're out in the public, or you're out shopping or eating, your aura is picking up information from other people. Now, most mediums will talk about the colors of the aura and all this stuff. That's very important, but the radiation from the aura itself about you is transmitted out is just as important. Because once you get close to somebody or near or far away from the pinnacle of their aura, you're going to pick it up. And if they're down, you're going to pick that up. So by the time you go home at night, you're ready to take that trip to Mars. I already signed up for it, and I figured some of you want to go. But it's really kind of that way now. So we need to shift back and look at ourselves in a different light. If you take a look around the corner, you know, I got out of Dunkin' Donuts early in the morning, and on my way home I saw this elderly man in one of these chairs on the sidewalk, wrapped up. He apparently stayed there all night, with all his belonging up the side street. And you say to yourself, how lucky you really are when you see that. But we don't do that, because we're humans. We want more. We want more and more and more. But we have to take a look at what's out there, change our minds, and start thinking more positive about our lives. You know, my father was, I come from the town of Stoughton, Mass., which is outside of Boston, as you can tell. And my dad was a very gentle soul. Everybody loved him in the community. So he said to me one day, and I was just 10 years old, 11 years old, he says, I want to teach you how to plant a garden. I said, oh, great. This is going to be wonderful. Until I started. And I realized, what a lot of work. I planted tomatoes, radishes, and cucumbers, and actually, after the task of the whole thing, it turned out real well. And we have to do that by changing our subconscious mind to think more positive about ourselves, number one, and number two, about where we are today. I watch the TV shows on TV, and they have St. Jude's Hospital, all these kids with cancer, who haven't even touched the earth outside. I mean, here we are complaining about cutting the grass. These kids haven't even been outside on the grass. And they're looking at nature from a picture window. And I really feel sorry about it, because I have 3 children. Well, they're actually men and women now. But I'm getting younger. I hear some laughing. And I feel great about that these children of mine are doing real well, and health-wise on top of that. So when we look at life in that aspect, we got to be thankful for what we have and where we should go. Like I said, they asked me about bringing the book out again, but I'm working on another one now. And this is from people involved in the school committee and so forth and so on. But it's very important. Is it a job to do it? Yes. Is it worth it at the end to change your mind from what you put in there? To change it more positive? It's worth it at the end, trust me. When I got out of college, I had to take over business, and I want to tell you, I didn't know anything about it. But the affirmations helped me get through it. They really did. So we have to get back to that. Each one of us has a spirit guide or an angel. You know, God said, I'm going to send you down to the other side, and you're not going to go alone, because we don't trust you down there. So I'm going to take a spirit guide and assign it to you, or an angel, and you're going to come in with it. But you have to do this. You have to ask them to help you. You have to ask them to help you. And that's the problem, because every time we ask our spirit helpers to help us, we think it's our mind playing games with us. But it's not. Many times I talk to people who have had incidents where they almost lost their lives, and an angel came in and took care of them. And that kind of woke them up. But if you ask them to help you out, to be more positive and get rid of the negativity around you, because we all have it, they will walk in and help you with that. I have a Native American girl, a friend of mine, I should put it that way. That must have been spirit calling. She's up in South Dakota, and I've done some readings for her, but she always calls me. When we had a big hurricane down here a couple of years ago, I was staying somewhere else, and I get the phone call from her. She said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm going home. She said, you call me when you get home. I thought, yes, ma'am. She said to me recently that the Native American Indians are very much into spiritualism. They communicate with the spirits on the other side. And what she wants to do, and I guess she was asking me if it was okay, if she can go out and help people to understand that. And I said, definitely, absolutely. Because I said, as spiritualists, we know this automatically. And you know that automatically, but we have to let other people understand that as well. And once we do that, we're going to help them survive. Survive the ups and downs and the vicissitudes of life today. Will we make it? Yes. But we do have to do some work on it. A lot of people think of the past lives, and they keep dealing with it all the time. I don't know if it's the age or just what's going on. And I had a teacher in high school, this is the time I was awake, by the way, and the teacher said, you learn from the mistakes of the past to better the future. You learn from the mistakes of the past to better the future. So we have to do that. Forget the past, look at tomorrow and what's going to go on. And one of the last things I had heard from another minister was very important. If it's going to be, it's up to me. If you're going to make some change in your life, to think more positive about life, it's up to you, not up to somebody else. You know, mediums can help you, they can guide you to a certain junction, but you personally have to go through the minefield. But once you do, you'll come out seeing life a lot differently. Trust me, because we've all been through it, I know I have. And I thank you.